Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another monthly edition here of the Platinum StarCraft 2 League September edition for the year of 2025. I'm Krystianer VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the Hoon Chats, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, welcome, one all. Bienvenidos, papi, bienvenidos. Hope you've all been having a great weekend here. We, of course, just wrapped up with RSL earlier today. We had a quick power nap. We got some sleep, happy. We got some sleep, and now we are awake just in time for some more StarCraft for the Platinum StarCraft League. Let's go. Let us go. This morning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the Teal Protoss player. The Teal Protoss, a returning player after a very long hiatus. It is Ashbringer. And spawning in the right-hand corner, also going for a proxy across the map. A proxy, or potentially even, we'll keep it on him. We have the Venezuela, we have the South Korean Terran player, we have the Red Terran. It is Hon Mono. Let's go. Let us go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamma time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. As I quickly do, there we go, set up the player names. As we quickly do get into our matchup. Exclamation mark. Be in the chat to have a look at the back yourselves. We are here in the round of 16, and we are ready for some shenanigans. We have one Rax at home, one across the map. So far it looks like 2 Rax Reaper, but I can never fully say with confidence what Honmono is up to, because Honmono is a very unique player. For those who maybe have not seen him before, Honmono is the cheesiest Terran player in all of South Korea. At this point, I could even argue in the entire StarCraft 2 scene at the moment. You know, back in the day, there used to be players like Ziggy in the European region, or players like Hero in the Southeast Asian region as well. But nowadays, a lot of those players have stepped away, and Honmono still persists. As we are opening up not 2X Reaper, we're gonna be going for instead Proxy Marauder. The combat shields, sorry, the concussive shells are gonna be on the way. The add-on is now done, getting to the tech lab, and Honmono, he can soon pull the trigger. For the time being, Ashbringer is not fully aware what's going on. Checking Ashbringer's vision, he did get into the main base, he did scout the initial opener, but he saw the racks, he saw the gas, everything looks standard, everything looks economic. The other scary thing about what's going on is Ashbringer aware of Honmono? Ashbringer, he has been inactive for a long time. I say inactive, if you recall, we spoke about this last time we casted Ashbringer, but he has been gone for a very long time in the competitive scene, in the competitive region. But he will scout, he will confirm, and he will get catch wind of what Honmono is up to. Not bad. He knows. He's now aware. Does force a cancel. Back in the main base, so we're going to make a stand. A sentry is done. A shield battery is on the way. We're getting ready for that force field, as the boys have been pulled. Yeah, the boys are here. I was going to say that Ashbringer, he's been active when it comes to playing at least in regional tournaments, but he has not competed in the greater scene in a very, very long time. Until recently, of course. So again, Ashbringer making a stand, throwing down his shield batteries. Robo's on the way for the immortal production. And he will give up on the natural. Give up on it. Bienvenidos. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Acá, ya. Para que le dé este sinistro, es sinistro. Buenos días. Buenos días. It's very late here in Australia. It's very late. But I hope you're having a good day. Good weekend, Good weekend. Hope you're having a great time. As for the time being, we are getting to our 3-gate setup. So 1 base, 3-gate robo here out of Ashbringer. 4-gate robo out of Ashbringer. Honmono does contain. Back at home, we have the factory on the way. Going into Ghost Academy. Okay, that I was not expecting. Honestly, he gets scouted. Honmono, he gets scouted. Hallucination goes into the main base, and based on the vision, Ashbringer, he does confirm the tech. He is aware of the Ghost Academy. What I was going to say is that Honmono could have expanded. He could have thrown down the 3rd CC, just contain the Protoss player and expand behind this. But Honmono, he doubles down, goes for the factory, goes for the academy as well. And from here, Honmono, he's committing into Ghost production. Oh boy. With those ghosts, he will have EMP. He's crazy, man. He's crazy. See the chat. Ghost gotta be my goat Honmono. You're an animal, Ledlix. You're an animal. Aye. As scan into the main base does reveal the setup. The mass gateways, the robo, the bay as well. So 1 base, Ooh, I was gonna say one base Colossus, but Ashbringer, he cancels the bait just before it finishes. Does cancel the bait, going for the Twilight Council instead. Homeowner, he's racing back home. He does see the one base play regardless. And Homeowner does expand. Okay. So he's expanding. He's going to get into a greater game state. Looking to expand. Ashbringer likewise does fan out with his adepts. But Homeowner, he's relatively close to home to defend. He's back home. I'll see if Ashbringer can get in. Get most of his army back at home. We have charge on the way. It looks like we're going for an all-in. Going to mass charge lot. Ashbringer does confirm. Ooh, army's in position. CC's delayed. One adept goes down. Losing one. The other gets away. Ashbringer, he does confirm the ghost, of course. I mean, he saw the academy earlier. There's the scan. Ashbringer moves down. And do we just macro? Do we? Is that what's happening right now? Homeowner is getting a CC, so is Ashbringer. We are expanding. Natural bases are on the way. Now, does the game just slow down from here, and do we just macro out of this? Well, Ashbringer has yet to expand. Ashbringer, he does have probes down here in the low ground, but he's warping in. You can see here, bam, 4 zealots at a time. He is warping in. Ashbringer is not expanding. We're committing. Back at home, Homeowner, he has Stim on the way. Getting to Stim and getting into the rest of his bio setup. The Raxes have flown back home. No bunker, but he's got 2 tanks, right? He's got 2 tanks here. Viking on patrol. He scans, he confirms. Still no Nexus. Big scan here for Mono. Oh, he unsieges. Homeowner abandons the low ground. Good call. I mean, again, he saw, right? He saw the lack of expansion. Ashbringer moving in, collapsing on the low ground. Bunkers late. Yeah, late bunker. Late bunker, dives in, tanks are exposed, immortals are going straight for the tanks. Ooh, Prism gets very low, down goes the first immortal, he gets one, he gets both. Both tanks I meant to say. Yeah, both tanks have fallen. Gets both tanks, but he needs more zealots. Prism barely survives. And Ashbringer has control of the low ground. Does have control. Vikings, oh, they hunt down the Prism. Prism goes down. Does fall. And do we expand? He said, oh, let's go. He's expanding. Takes the natural. Ashbringer does pull away. Homeowner scans. There we go. That's the 3rd scan. Does confirm that Ashbringer is taking his natural base. So is Homeowner. Homeowner does move out. Does move out. When it comes to the supplies here, Homeowner is down to 2 ghosts. So 2 ghosts, 2 Vikings. Mainly Marine-based army, but he does have Stim. Force field is going to be key here. Does EMP? Does Homeowner EMP those sentries ahead of time? He's going for it. Oh. Yes, it's up. EMP does connect. Yeah, no force fields. No force fields. I say no. 1 force field gets thrown down. That's all he has. And he tries to stim in. The Immortals adding a lot of DPS here to the army. And Ashbringer, he barely holds on. 2 Immortals, a Stalker, and a Zealot. Very, very clutch hold. Does survive. Ashbringer holds. Just hold on. Homeowner pulling back. Gets a 3rd CC. Yeah, we might just mac her out of this. Like, it's the observer sees everything, by the way. So Ashbringer, he's aware of the 3rd command center. Drop into the main base. Stalker's in position. Almost deflected. Someone does rotate. Oh, once again lands EMP. Not bad, and with that he does snipe the Immortal. Very nice snipe. Takes down the Immortal, catches the sentry, Zelts go down, pulls away, nice trades. Better trade there for Honmono. Meanwhile, we have a very real Colossus now in production. Bay is now done. This time was not cancelled. And we're building up in towards the mid game here. Ashbringer has yet to expand. Again, very tech heavy on 2 bases, going for the Dark Shrine as well. Just now taking gases. Still no 3rd base for Ashbringer. Dark Templar, it's going to be a little bit cheeky here, true, but at the same time, Homeowner has Ghosts, right? So he has EMPs. He is hanging on to energy. We'll see if that continues. We shall see. No sleeping? Nah. But this isn't good. Gonna get some sleep out of this tournament. See, papi, see. Oh, the sleep. I had a nap just before the cast, just before this cast. I was able to have like 2 hours of sleep. Then we veg. For now, though, we StarCraft. As Homeowner does make his way into the main, does boost in. He's boosting on forward. Setting up in the main. Colossus trying to push in. The Liberator does pop up. Actually just targeted the sentries instead. Nice EMP. EMP connects. But still an awkward fight. The Colossus, they just had so much more DPS in the back line. They shut down the initial army. They force a pickup. And Ashbringer does hold. Does hold on. Did cost him all of his sentries. That was a lot of sentries going down. A lot of his Gateway army. But Ashbringer does hold. DTs are moving out. Homeowner, he notices, and he is banking up a lot of energy. Plenty of scans. DTs go down. Turrets being thrown down as well. Just now throwing down his turrets. Homeowner is getting secure, and Homeowner is ahead. Like, he has a massive lead here. But when I say massive lead, the bases. The 3rd base timing here for Ashbringer. Liberators to do work up at the natural base. The economy is not really there. He's down to 2 bases, down to a 1 base economy. He cannot mine from the natural. Down to half a base economy, essentially, and still no expansion, still no 3rd base. The longer this goes on, the worse it is for Ashbringer. Homeowner is getting further ahead. And Ashbringer doesn't really have much of an army to work with here. As Homeowner does him in. When he does him forward, he can focus on the Colossus. Should get one, should get both, and there just isn't really much left here. Yeah, there's not much left. GG. Homeowner, he will take game number 1. He'll take a lead in the series. Whew. GG. Again, a very chaotic game 1. We had the Proxy Marauder. Likewise, we had the 1 base play out of Ashbringer. Very clutch, very intense. Both players had their moments, but Homeowner was able to establish his natural, was able to, more importantly, establish his 3rd base, right? His 3rd base got up and running. He had a 3 base economy plus mules. I mean, I say plus mules, he wasn't really muling, to be fair, but he had a 3 base economy nonetheless against a 2 basing Ashbringer. Likewise, Ashbringer, he was surviving, he was holding on against a lot of these attacks, but it was always at a cost here, as he was losing all of his sentries, losing all of his gateway units, who was barely hanging on, barely treading water. GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations. Homeowner does take a lead, but now we'll see if he can claim the series. We'll see if Ashbringer can recover and tie things up. Let's go. Let us go. As we're jumping into game 2. Game 2 is going to be on Pylon. We almost recovered. I was waiting for the game to slow down, and it did a little bit, but we didn't quite get into the mid game, as we're now getting into game number 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon. We have the South Korean Terran player, we have the Red Terran representing Team Hyper 1. It is Honmono. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss himself. It is Ashbringer, the returning Protoss. Let's go. Again, Ashbringer, he has not competed in an international tournament in a very, very long time, in an Open Cup like this. So great to have him back, of course. He's back, he has returned. They've been gone for a couple of years. And of course, here he's up against Homono. Homono, who, as I mentioned before, is, I would say, the most aggressive Terran player at the moment amongst the pro scene. The most cheesy. And here he's opening up Double Gas. Double Gas opener, faster tech, a delayed TC, faster factory out of Homono. And from here, we can go into a 1-1-1, into a 1-base all-in. We can go factory into racks, into second racks, into a heavy bio setup here to support his factory production. We'll see where he leads us. Again, we do expect aggression out of Homono. We expect all-ins. 3B. That's the factories on the way. Probe goes in for a scout. Ashbringer does make a pass and will confirm the factory. So with that, Ashbringer, he's aware of the double gas opener. Likewise, Ashbringer, he's also aware of the CC being delayed and that there's no proxy. Maybe that's the most important part here. This is where there's no proxy. So far, so good. From here, Homono going to a 1-1-1, one base all in, no expansion. No expansion. The standard opener would be racks into factory into ZC, but that is not happening here. It is not happening. Let's see if Hallucination is moving out. Out with Hallucination. Behind this, fast Forge. Forge before tech. Interesting. So really fast +1 from Ashbringer. Checking his vision here. He didn't really get to see much. And here comes the initial move out. So again, mass vanilla marine, early tanks, a bit of extra support. And we pull some of the boys. Yeah, the boys are being pulled. Again, Homono, he's all in. Behind this to defend Ashbringer, he has, I mean, the +1 is not really going to be much of a factor here. Not for the initial defense. Thankfully, not skipping warp-ins. Here comes the second tank. And can Homono get within range of this pylon? Remember, this pylon is going to be powering the shield battery, also powering the robo. I mean, really, whether it gets within range of the pylon or the robo, either one would be ideal. Homono pushing forward, he gets spotted. The tank does get within range. Boys are being pulled. First tank was already pre-sieged. Massive tank shots on the stalkers and solid target firing. Yeah, stalkers are going down, and Homono, he does it. He does it, he breaks through, takes out all the probes, takes out the stalkers, and Homono, he will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the quarterfinals. GG. GG, well played, congratulations. Homono, he will claim the series. Unfortunately, Ashbringer, he was not aware of the move out. If you remember, the Hallucination saw the Marines ahead of time as it was still across the map, but he didn't see the move out through the center. Otherwise, ideally, the Protoss player wants to be engaging ahead of time, picking up Marines, forcing an early siege, and delaying for as long as possible. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case here. Ashbringer, by the time he engaged with the army, it was already sieged up within range of the natural base. GG. GG well played. So with that, Homono, he will claim the series, he will advance on, and let's catch up with the bracket. Let's figure out where we are and where we are headed. Let's go. As we meanwhile, also a shout out to Ashbringer for competing again. Ashbringer, he's been gone for a very long time, so it's great to have him return these past couple of weeks to open tournaments, and I hope he isn't dissuaded by players like Homono. I hope to see more of Ashbringer in the coming weeks. Hope to see more. Meanwhile, we have plenty of updates. From the top, we have Krystianer. Krystianer is waiting for the winner of Rebellion and Percival in the first round. Or he's waiting in the second round for the PvT to conclude. Meanwhile, we have Nickrat. Nickrat takes down Davlatos. Art takes down Requiem, and we have Nickrat versus Art in the second round. Likewise, Gerald, he was waiting for the winner of the series. Gerald and Krystianer, they were the top 2 seeds of the tournament, waiting in the next round. And now we have our next series. Homono is going to be going up against Gerald. In that quarterfinals match, another TVP. Scrolling down, we have Shameless. Shameless, he does take down his first opponent. I say take down, looks like a walkover. Based on the challenge here, it looks like potentially a walkover. So Shameless is already in the next round, waiting for the winner of Art and Ledlix. Ooh, that's a lot of PvP down there in the bottom half. Again, as to be expected, no Zerg. Smurge, Pappy Smurge. Purely Protoss and Terran remaining in the tournament is what we're used to when it comes to the online tournament scene, of course. But we saw some really exciting matches. We have Homono, who's hyper aggressive. We have some top Protoss players here in Gerald, Krystianer, and Shameless. I'll be honest, I haven't casted much of Krystianer recently. It feels like he's been taking a step back. Krystianer, he was very, very active at the start of the year, but post EWC, Krystianer has been playing a little bit less. It feels like he's been signing up for less tournaments, so great to see him here once again. I look forward to potentially seeing more of Krystianer coming up. Now, because I haven't seen Krystianer play in recent weeks and in recent months, I don't know what his form is like. I would favor him to make it quite far in this tournament for sure, typically, but at the same time, like, again, is he a little bit rusty? Is he a little bit rough around the edges? If so, that's where players like Percival, Nickrat, and Art, and even Rebellion can definitely threaten him. So we'll see. We shall see. Again, it's going to be harder to call who can make it through, but we have some heavy hitters here that are more favored, like your Krystianers, your Percivals, your Nickrats, your Geralts, your Shameless as well. We'll get there. Also, Homono, as always, is a wild card. Homono, because of his cheese, because of his aggression, he can take down the best of the best. Like, we've seen Homono take maps and take series off of Max Packs, for example. If you can take down Max Packs, you can take down anyone. Like, that's So, Homono is an animal. Now, what I will say is that the problem with Homono, especially in recent times, is, of course, the fact that there is a reputation around Homono, right? He has a reputation. Players are aware of him. They're more aware of him as time progresses, as time goes on. Players like Gerald, Shameless, Krystianer, a lot of the kind of players that are the regulars, there we go. A lot of the regulars in the online tournament scene, online tournament circuit, are now aware of the circus that is Homono. They're aware of his hyper cheese, hyper aggression, the proxies. Like, they know more or less how he plays, and they should be taking a safer approach, I should say. This is where, you know, playing a certain way and playing a certain play style does kind of work against you as you get a reputation, as you get a little bit more known, as you have a little bit more renown around you than, you know, players that will just blindly play safe against you. And it can be harder to achieve that aggression, harder to get away with that sort of thing. True. Oh, no. But for the time being, Vetoes are underway. Oh, never mind. Vetoes are done. Vetoes are done. And we are getting into the first game of the series. Up next, we do have Homono and Geralt. Game 1 is going to be on Persephone. Let's go. As we are setting things up. Oh, but here we go. So players are ready, vetoes are done, and we're getting into game number 1. And here the opponents, they get tougher and tougher for our Terran player. We'll see if he can pull this off once again. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the green Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Team Hyper 1. It is Homono. I'm not the danger. I'm in their danger. He's cooked, Bobby. He's cooked mono. No, not like this. If you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck, as we do see Homeowner going for 1 Rax at home and 1 Rax across the map. This is looking like the same build we saw in game 1 against Ashbringer. Homeowner going into Proxy Marauder, assuming that we get a Tech Lab, assuming we get Marauder production, assuming we go for the same build. Of course, from here we could try to deviate into Reaper production, for example. We'll see where Homeowner takes us. Meanwhile, Gerald is scouting. Now, as I mentioned before, Gerald, he's a player that is a little more aware of Homeowner's playstyle, a little more willing to play safe, and likewise, Gerald is even favored to potentially even take the entire tournament here. He's definitely been in form as of late. Yep, Tech Lab, same build. So same build, 2 series in a row. Homeowner, he'll be pumping out Marauders, he'll be pulling some of the boys, and he'll soon be committing into the natural. And the goal, the win condition, I said the win condition, the goal here is going to be to break the natural base. We'll see if he can do it again. As he was able to pull it off against Ashbringer. As Gerald, he's going to be opening up Stalker, not Sentry. The boys are pulled. And Gerald, he's not quite in position. He was able to probe scout earlier, and he was able to confirm the main base. Scouting on the right-hand side. And he does spot the army. There we go, does spot the SCVs. Yeah, he's racing back. The interception! No, the Marauders coming in. The Marauders, they do come in. Can they get within range of the Stalker? They will zone away. Yeah, the Stalker is zoned, and with that, the bunker is being thrown down. Yeah, Homeowner is going straight for the natural. Gerald's out of position. The boys are being pulled. All the boys, actually. Yeah, the boys are being pulled. Homeowner, he has to pull back. Surrounds the SCV. Denies the bunker for a moment. Now up to 3 Marauders. There's a recall. The shield are putting in a lot of work. But this is so much lost mining time. Oh no, the Marauder! The Marauders, they get on top of the Stalker, one more volley, and the Stalker barely survives. Oh my god, does force a cancel. That was a kill. That's a kill, not a cancel. Up to 3 Stalkers. But the Marauder kind of still building up. Still a lot of Marauders. And he rotates around and gets one of the Stalkers. It's going to be at 12 probes going down. This is so much economic damage. Oh, a little bit of miscontrol there at Homeowner. Yeah, some miscontrol. But look at all this damage here. That's 14 probes falling. Oh no! I mean, all the boys are pulled up. The Marauder gets surrounded. Yeah, clutched around. This Homeowner is still rallying. But again, he just lost 3 Marauders. 3 Marauders just went down. And Gerald, he's holding. He's holding on. Yes, he lost a little workers, but look at the worker count here. 17 probes. 17 probes remaining. Gerald, he has the greater economy. He's on 2 bases, and Gerald is getting further ahead. It did cost him a lot of workers. That was 14 probes in total going down, but it was worth it. If he hadn't surrounded the army, different story. If we still had like 3-4 Marauders, then Homeowner could have kept pushing, could have kept going, and maybe even broken the natural base. But in the end, pulling that many probes was worth it for Gerald. It was worth it. He holds, he defends, and Gerald, he's getting further ahead. I see in the chat, is this with the new patch? No. Whenever we do decide to play on the new patch and on the new PTR, that will be in the title of the stream. Will be in the title. This event is going to be on the base game. As Homeowner back at home, do you see what I see? I see more Raxes. We have a 3rd Rax in production. Factory, starports. Do you see what else I see? No command center. No command center, no CC. Homeowner, he's committing here into a follow-up into another 1 base all-in. moves out. Checks the proxy location. Checks for the expansion. Gerald, he doesn't see much. For all he knows, honestly, there could be a CC on the high ground. All you saw were Marines and Marauders. He did not see the tank. That would have been a tell, of course. But Gerald, he's unaware. Hallucination dips in. There we go. Does for the tank. And he confirms the 3-1-1. He confirms the one base all in. And we need shield barriers back at home. We need extra warpins, extra gateways. There we go. We have extra gates on the way. Charge is in production. Charge is going to be ideal, as Charge is built to shut down these tank pushes. Personally, the one thing that we're really missing here is a Robo. Robo in immortal production would be perfect for Gerald. So he's still just building up, throwing down extra gateways. Hallucination spots the move out, so the boys are being pulled. One way or another, the game is about to end. Either Homeowner breaks Gerald or he dies trying. When it comes to Gerald's defenses here, again, he won't have any immortals. He does have 3 shield batteries, and more importantly, force fields. He has 2 sentries, a lot of energy, and force fields can slice up the army, can slow it down, can make or break this fight. We get spotted. Tanks is slowly pushing in. Tank boys on the zealots, diving on top of the tanks. Tanks are going to go down. Ooh, and we decide to hallucinate. There's a scan. Homeowner pushing in, but he's running out of steam. He's out of tanks. Yeah, no more tanks. That was the backbone of his army. Working in stalkers. And the Liberator is going to be targeted down. At the same time, though, does cost him a couple of stalkers, but Gerald holds. God, he's holding on. Chasing the army off of creep. Off of creep. Out into the map. Oh, we're still a little bit sleepy, Pat. Still but God, he does hold. He does survive. He's still on 2 bases, on full 2 base saturation. And Homeowner is falling further behind at this point. Sure, he can heal up his army. Sure, there's a gold base here, but for the most part, Gerald, he is far, far behind. And there are very few ways for Gerald to make this work. At this point, there's a world where, okay, if Gerald overextends, like if Gerald moves out with this army, for example, if he moves out with this army, if he gets caught out, if Gerald moves out with his entire army and there's nothing at home to defend and the drop gets in and a mineral line goes down, like, there are definitely ways for Homeowner to recover in this game, but he is heavily reliant on Gerald being out of position and Gerald's just getting caught off guard. Gerald making mistakes. Drop is attempted. Gerald does defend. Lose all 1 probe. Oh, he's hunting for the medevac. Oh my god. Casi. Drops are continuing. Gerald is looking to push it to the center. Just warping in extra zealots. The bay is on the way for Colossus, getting a third. Like, technically, Gerald doesn't have to push, right? He does not have to move out. His opponent's on 1 base. Gerald just has to defend. So the recall back home. Oh, here comes the interception. Uh-oh. Yeah, Gerald moving in. Homeowner, he gets caught out. He will lose the medevac, and GG gets called. Gerald, he will take in 1. He will take a lead in the series. Whew. GG. Hey, yeah. GG, well played. Gerald, he does take a lead. Again, solid defense out of Gerald, able to defend, able to survive on 2 bases. Was still very close, was still very clutch, but he was able to scout, able to realize the all-in, able to see the all-in coming ahead of time as well, and prepare back at home. GG, well played. With that, Gerald does take a lead in the series, and we'll see if Gerald can close it out here and now. We'll see if Homeowner can bounce back and recover. We'll see if he can. Oh. See if we can here, as game 2 is going to be on Maganatha. Okay, a lot of proxy locations. There are a lot of proxy locations on Maganatha. Maganatha is a very large map. As a result, we do often see a lot of proxies, a lot of cheeses on this map. Likewise, though, this is where greater all-ins are going to be a little bit weakened, referring to 2-base all-ins specifically. We'll see. We'll see where our players do take us. This morning, in the top left-hand corner of Maganatha, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the green Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Team Hyper 1 down in the series. Can he bounce back? It is Mono. He's cooked back. He's cooked. As this time, we should not be going for a proxy across the map. Not after game 1 is the thing, right? Like game 1, we just saw the attempted proxy, a maraudering proxy Kingdoms of Shell. In the end, was shut down. So Homeowner is going to be opening up double gas into a faster factory. And this can potentially lead into a 1-1-1 setup into a 1-base all-in. Once again, regardless of the build of choice, it's going to get to Gerald to confirm, as he does move out with his probe scout. Does move out, does poke in, and Gerald, he will confirm the factory. So he's aware of the double gas. Gets locked into the main. Probe is locked in. Marine will get a snipe. Ooh, just barely does kill. From here, we're building up again. We're waiting for the starports. The factory is now done. Yeah, but there it is, 1-1-1. Same build as last series. So far, same build. So we're building up Mass Marine into tanks, into medevac support, into pull some of the boys, into 1-base all-in. We saw this in the last series. And once again, it's going to be on the Protoss player to scout and to confirm what's going on. Gerald, he scouts everything. He does scout, does confirm. He sees the 1-1-1. He's aware. Let's put the move out. Gerald doesn't really have much of an army to actually slow this down. We have another shield battery on the way. Warp gate is almost complete. This time Gerald getting into blink and not getting into charge. Interesting. So Homeowner just got the long way around. Gerald does catch the boys. Does catch some reinforcements. Oh. Pulls away. Makes up all the SCVs. So homeowner, he's distracted. And go, can he recall? Can he make it out of here? Oh, the speed zones, does speed away. Does zoom. And the Gerald, he will not lose a single stalker. He does get out, does pull away. There's the recall. Ooh, brutal supply block. Yeah, brutal supply block for Gerald. Warpins are delayed. Tanks are sieging up. Oof. Tank post going off. Gerald taking too many tank shots to the face. Yeah, he'll lose everything. Yeah, stalkers, they can take some massive hits to the face. Ay, ay, ay. Again, Gerald, he also chose to go into blink, not into charge lot, so no zells to try to close that gap. And Gerald, he's pushing through. He's pushing through again. Those tank blows were brutal. The army was stacked. And homeowner, he's going for the kill. Yeah, he's up to 3 tanks. He's hit critical mass. He's hit critical mass of tanks. He's moving in. And the base will go down. We can see Gerald trying to catch reinforcements. Comes in from behind, but now there's a 4th tank. Oh no. And there's no pushing into 4 tanks. Like, none of this kind of game state here. Someone who kills the natural. Now moving further in. So because they attempt to come in from behind, they get 1 tank. Let's get 1 tank. Ooh, within range of the mineral line. They're pushing closer. We go cloak on the way. It's being researched. Gerald allows us soon just go for one last ditch effort. Who's out? And I like how they both have the same idea. We have a cloak being researched for Honmono, at the same time DTs for Gerald. That is maybe the one chance that Gerald has. The eBay is done. No safety towers yet. There we go, turret with the main army. As the eBay is done across the map. Ah, no. Turrets already. From here, homeowner, he is indeed muling. Does have a scan. Gerald turns back around, and he's going to try to break this position. Now, the plus side is that this position has not been reinforced in quite some time. Oh, as Banshees, they do reveal cloak. Cloak is revealed as 0 detection. Banshees are moving in for the kill. We have defensive DTs. Well, there's a turret. Oh god, there's a turret in position. Every DT goes down. Banshee's GG gets called. Homeowner, he will fight back. He will tie up the series. We are going to the ace match. Whew, GG. Going to game 3 again, a very, very intense game to hear homeowner. He was able to get across the map. I was giving praise to Gerald early on. Remember, he saw the move out, he delayed the push, he killed the 4 SCVs, and he dragged the army to the right hand side. But if you remember, there was one critical moment where Gerald did mess up. That was that he did push into a pre-sieged army, referring to when he built up his stalkers, he warped in, and he pushed down into the low ground outside of the natural base. into 2C's tanks. The tanks were sieged, the tank volleys were brutal, they punished the stalkers for stacking up, and Gerald just wasn't aware, right? He didn't realize that Homono was as prepared, was already set up there. Homono, he was unfortunately a little bit late to engage, and he got punished so hard for committing for that fight because he took one massive volley to the face, and then he spread and kept going. He spread and he just kept pushing. He didn't respect the tanks enough, and he lost so many stalkers in the process, and that was almost game then and there. So GG well played with that. We are now tied up 1-1, and we're making our way into the ace match. Let's go. Going all the way. Just a battery can defend this. No, tanks, if they can get within range, tanks that can be brutal this early on in a TVP. Again, it was on Gerald for committing into pre-siege tanks, for taking the fight that he did, and for losing that fight eventually, well, ultimately. And now we're getting into the ace match, the final game of the series, and honestly, this could go either way. This could go either way, as spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the Polish Protoss player representing Streamer Zone. He is favored to maybe even win the entire tournament, but he's struggling here in the quarterfinals. Can he bring it back? It is Gerald. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran representing Team Hyper 1. It is Homono. He's cooked, Pappy. He's cooked. And we'll see what kind of all-in we'll go for this time. Already, first things first, double gas opener out of Homono, so he's going for a faster factory, he's going for a delayed CC. He may go for another 1 base all-in, or we could build up in towards a 2 base all-in instead. We don't have to commit on 1 base. There are other ways of being aggressive, there are other ways of being all-in, there are other ways that Homono does typically play this out. So we'll see what occurs after the factory. Building up, the factory's on the way. Gerald scouts, Gerald is aware. And after what happened in the last game, Gerald, he's going to be thinking 1 base all in. It is going to be on the mind of Gerald. Herb gets hunted down. Do we expand? Okay, don't forget to stretch. Don't forget to stretch. As behind this 1-1-1, so 1 base all in. Looks like the same build so far. Yeah, looks like the same build. Looks like Reactor Marine. Looks like we're going to be chronoing out. Well, sorry, say chronoing out. We're going to be pumping out tanks, and then we have the medevac support. We saw last game eventually did lead from medevac into Banshee play. Could go into Liberator as well. Gerald setting up his own proxy pylon. Does still expand though. He's taking up into the Twilight Council. After what happened in the last game, I would not be surprised if Gerald goes into charge instead of blink. See if he does. So we have the proxy 3rd gateway. Homono's move out is spotted. Gerald has to be careful not to drag the army towards the proxy. As, yep, there it is, charge. As we had assumed after what happened in the last game, is going for charge. Charge is just a safe way to play. Charge is built to shut down these all-ins. It's built to shut down early tank pushes. And here we go, the boys are being pulled. Homono does move out. We can see Gerald trying to engage ahead of time. He's here on top of the ramp. To pick off Marines, to maybe get the tank. Ooh, as he will miss the rotation. He opens the army. Homono's moving in. Can he siege up in time? Oh. Homeowner is going to be a little bit late to siege, but the SCVs have arrived to repair. Tanks, they bully back the army. Bunkers on the way. Tanks, they punish the stalkers. Again, Homeowner trying to get within range. Speaking of, Stalker does fall. The charge is now done. We just need a warp in. We need warp ins. As more boys are being pulled, Homeowner is committing. We have Cloak Banshee behind us, or regular Banshee. Zelsa charge in. They pick up a good amount of Marines. Now getting on top of the tanks. One tank goes down, but here come the reinforcements, and Homeowner, he's doing it. Homeowner, he's breaking through. Same time across the map, Zel's actually getting to the mineral lines. The wall was open. Nice damage. Very nice damage out of Gerald, by the way. Homeowner down to 14, down to 13 SCVs. Yeah, that's barely an economy. Homeowner breaking the natural is not good enough. We have to keep going. Time is on Gerald's side. The longer this goes on, the better it is for Gerald, as he's squeezing out extra warp ins. Homeowner, he's down to 6 SCVs. Oh no, he'll lose the tank, and that might just be game. That might just be game here. Gerald shouts to the MVP pylon. This is how he got across the map. He's been warping in. He's been warping across the map. Zelsa down in the army. Trading well enough. As Homeowner, he has control of the natural base. At the same time, though, everything across the map is on fire. Going for the kill. And charge is done. So with this around, and with that, Gerald, he will hold. Yeah, he cleans up the army, takes out the tanks. There's one tank left. One tank remaining. Oh, oh, he's asking about the pylon. Yeah, here. GG, well played. The MVP proxy, the MVP pylon. With that, Gerald will claim the series 2-1. Honestly, if it wasn't for that pylon, I think Homeowner wins. So I'll be honest, like, things were looking a little bit dire for Gerald as Homeowner was slowly gaining more ground. But alas, Homeowner, he failed to scout the early pylon out of Gerald, and Gerald did make use of it, got his gateway, and was able to warp in across the map. GG, well played. Congratulations to Gerald. He does claim the series. Still very intense, very close, very clutch, but congratulations to our Polish Protoss player. And with that, he does advance on to the semi-finals. Ooh, here we go. We have some of our semi-finalists ready. Nickrak takes on R 2-0, waiting for the winner of Krystianer and Percival. Meanwhile, Gerald is waiting for the winner of Shameless and Art. Oh boy. Here we go. So with that, we have a Protoss player confirmed for the finals. It's going to be between Gerald, Shameless, and Art. Non-stop European PvP going on there, and we'll be hopping on over to catch up with Gerald's series. Meanwhile, Nickrak still waiting for his opponent. Is it going to be a TVP or a TVT upper semis? Still yet to be confirmed. We'll get there. But with that, we are going to be going for a short break. We're going for a short break here. When we come back, we'll have our next series. When we come back, we will have most likely Gerald versus his next opponent in the semifinals. We'll see you soon. We'll see you soon after the break. Oh, and before we cut to break, of course, before I forget, exclamation mark Matcherino. Exclamation mark Matcherino in the chat. You will get a link to the Matcherino page, of course, for this event, and I believe there are still coupon codes. There are still codes available, so you can help boost the prize pool by claiming those codes without even putting up any of your own monetary prize pool, of course, but you can help us out with those codes, so do so. So you can do so here. We do appreciate it if you do. Again, Matcherino is a place to be to support the event. We'll see you guys soon though in a couple of minutes with our next series. See you soon. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that brutal OST. I do apologize for the extended break, but we have returned. We've returned with the semifinals. So the semifinals here of the Platinum StarCraft League September edition for 2025. Again, a monthly tournament. Shout out to all those working behind the scenes at the Platinum Heroes and Platinum Esports as well. Do appreciate the work that is done on the event itself. Have been running for the majority of the year of 2025, leading into the end of year finals, of course. And we're here to find out our first finalist for the month of September. Let's go. This morning, in the top right-hand corner of Ley Lines, we have the blue Protoss player, the Polish Protoss, representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get into our PvP. Also, as a reminder, this is a best of 5, not a best of 3. Here for this tournament, so the semifinals are best of 5s moving forward here. So best of 5 semis, best of 5 at grand finals as well. So we have a bit of a longer series ahead of us. We have potentially a longer back and forth. Let's go. Now, coming into this Gerald and Shameless, I have a hard time picking a favorite player here. I do know that because we're in the off season, of course, players have been devoting a little bit less time to practicing, to competing as well. Players have been taking a little bit more time off, I should say. And in general, even if Gerald was in form, I mean, I would still give the edge to Gerald, but Gerald and Shameless are quite close in skill here. This can go either way. This can go either way. I'm hoping for a back and forth. I'm hoping that regardless of how this goes, it is not a 3-0. Hoping for a game 4, potentially even a game 5. Potentially. So now 2-gate opener out of Shameless, 2-gate opener out of Gerald. Now, we've been covering a lot of PvP as of late, especially amongst the Koreans, and we often do see shorter, more aggressive games. I mean, hey, we just casted a best of 7 between Zaun and Classic, but what I will say, especially amongst the European Protoss players, is that they are often more macro-oriented. We often do see 2-gate openers into Natural Base, into Further Tech, into our Twilight Council, into a 3rd expansion, into the mid-game, into almost a maxed out army as well. So that's kind of what we're expecting out of these players. They're typically less aggressive, less willing to cheese, less willing to proxy, less willing to go all in. We'll see if that trend is accurate here in this best of 5. Let's see if that trend continues. Stalker Sentry opener out of Shameless. Likewise, Stalker Sentry out of Gerald. Both players going for standard economic openers, as both players do expand. To be expanding. Likewise, we have our tech of choice, Twilight Council Shameless, Twilight Council with Gerald. Twilight Councils all around. No, the D-Gen duck in the chat. Ah, no. I like this. Yes, we're waking up. Good to go. It is 3:20 a.m. here in the morning, here in Australia. Perfect time for StarCraft. We'll make it, man. We'll make it. But for now, Blink is on the way, getting into extra gateways. Again, no major signs of aggression yet. We should just be building up on 2 bases and working towards a 3rd. That's the direction that we're heading in. We'll see if either player does decide to throw down extra gateways, further tech, and commit on 2 bases. Is still an option, for sure. As Gerald, he does threaten a shade to up, taking 1-shot workers, but so far does not get into the main. Just get in. Gerald looking to expand. There it is. There's that 3rd. And Shameless doing the same. So as you mentioned, it's going to be a much more passive game here. We have a 2-gate blink out of Gerald, 2-gate blink out of Shameless, into 3rd bases, into a 3-base setup, in towards the mid-game. From here, we should be working towards extra gateways, then a Forge for +1, then into Charge, and then to charge our Archon. It should be the direction here for both players. So Forge for Shameless, going for +1. Meanwhile, Gerald going for a faster Robo. Interesting. A faster Robo can lead into a mortal production. There's the delayed Forge for Gerald. This faster Robo is a safer way to approach this. It doesn't just give you faster immortals, it also gives you access to observers. Basically, if Shameless was going for a Dark Shrine or a proxy Dark Shrine that was unscouted, then detection would be available in time for it. So Gerald's just playing it safe. Shameless, he delays his own Robo, he delays his observer in favor of +1. I would give the edge to Shameless here, coming into the mid game. This +1 is on the way. Only faster by a couple of seconds. Stalkers are spotted. Shameless does react. Shameless is ready. The two adepts here threatening the natural. Remember, two adepts, they do still one-shot workers. And they're looking for a way in. Shameless reacts. Shameless, he does wall off. Shameless is ready. Do you see that immortal production for Gerald? So Gerald, he's building up his immortal counts. 4th base on the way for both players. Which again is to be expected. Both players, they take their 4th bases and both players should be looking to max out. We're getting there. Charge done in 10 seconds. Adepsi commits. Yeah, it does get into the main. Does get in. This time there was no worker in position. Charge is done. Despite that, we get 1, 2, 3. Do we get 4? Do we get 5? Oh, yeah, should be just barely 5 probe kills. Can we get 6? What am I? Barely enough, but 5 probes for 2 adepts. That is well worth for Gerald. Very nice pickup. Very nice trade. And Shameless was out of position. Was out of position. Shameless even supply blocked. And with that, Gerald does take the supply lead. The Templar Archive is almost done, which means Gerald, he can warp in those High Templar. And we get spotted. There it is, Templar morphing in just in time for this push. Very crisp timing here from Gerald. My size is still quite comparable. Zell slightly in favor of Gerald. Even Arkham count, the Immortal does move in, the Immortal's exposed. Ooh. And the Prism does fall. Shameless getting into the Immortal. Shameless trying to hold on here, and he should be able to. Yeah, a bit of an awkward engage, leading out Stalkers. Shameless, he does hold on. Snipe the Immortal, snipe the War Prism, and the game will continue. Shameless is not really set up to counterattack here. He has no prism of his own. He has no way to reinforce. So the game just continues from here. To continue. Here comes the move out. The War Prism is now done for Shameless. He's pushing. Oh, Shameless, he does preserve his army. He does hide it. Just now revealing. Gerald, he has a little Stalkers out of position. He's racing over. There's a recall. Does recall back home. Zells, they clash into each other. There are 2 Archons on either side. And Shameless, he's getting on top of the Archons. Zelts are clumping. First Archon gets around it, he gets 1. There's 1 left. 1 Archon remaining. Alongside the 1 Immortal. Shameless so close to breaking through. Here come the reinforcements, here comes the Warp in. And he is getting on top of the Immortal. There we go, the Immortal goes down, the Archon as well. And Shameless, he has done it. He breaks through the main army. wasting a little bit of DPS here on the pylon. Yeah, some of the soldiers are a little bit far back. Now he moves forward, and again, he has done it. He has broken the back of Gerald. Whew. Again, Gerald heals out of position. Rough start to the fight. GG gets called, and Shameless takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, we did have a bit of a back and forth here. For the most part, a passive game, as both players got their naturals, got their third bases, got their fourth bases, then built up in towards that, or in towards a longer game state. We saw that Gerald, he was the first to be active, if you recall. He was the first to push. He was the first to move out, but in the end, he wasn't quite able to achieve too much. He, in the end, was deflected. He lost the Immortal. Imagine that final fight with an extra Immortal instead. I mean, that could have been game. So it's quite close. In the end, Shameless takes the lead, and now we get into game number 2. Let's go. Jumping into game 2. Game 2 is going to be on Tokamak. And we'll see if Gerald can recover. We'll see if he can bounce back and make a series out of this. Let's go. Spawning in the top right hand corner of Tokamak, we have our Polish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back and make a series out of this. For Streamer Zone, it is Gerald. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss player himself, representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. Here we go. This is again Gerald, recently confirmed for being one of the invites to the SC for All tournament. As of course the big event happening in the Americas, in America, in the coming month. As Gerald did make it to the finals of the previous Cheesedelphia. So we'll be there for SC for All. I guess this is a good time slot to actually bring it up, that if you're out there, if you happen to be local to the Americas region, or happen to be traveling or willing to travel, then do bear in mind that there are a lot of tournaments on the horizon in the Americas. There's the SC2 Safe House, which is not open to the public, but there is Starfest, of course. We have the offline tournaments happening in in Canada. Likewise, we then have the other event happening in Philadelphia, which is SC for All, which is a replacement for Cheesedelphia. Basically, it's almost, do I want to say rebranding? Cheesedelphia, they are going to be not necessarily rebranding, but they have partnered, I believe. They've partnered with the SC Historian. They have rebranded a little bit, have they renamed. They're going to be, of course, working on organizing the event itself, but has grown into not just an SC2 tournament, but a Brood War tournament as well. So really cool to see them branch out and grow. Really cool to see. And of course, Gerald is going to be a part of that. I'm sure we'll be getting some more invites from the European region as well. Meanwhile, as we settle in, we do have initial openers, 2-gate opener out of Shameless, 2-gate opener out of Gerald as well. We have our initial opener in our initial units. We have double Stalker out of Gerald, we have Stalker Sentry out of Shameless. So it looks like Shameless is going for, once again, a very standard opener. Gerald is being a little bit cheekier though, as his Nexus is delayed. What do we go for? A Stargate. So double Stalker into Stargate from the side of Gerald. We'll see what kind of damage you can get done. As the Gerald has a little potential with those oracles. Those are coming. Oh. Gerald has to be careful. Getting caught out. He's getting caught. Shameless being cheeky. Do you see what I see? I do see a spotter or a proxy pylon out on the map. Twilight Council opener. Are we willing to send a probe out here to throw down a Dark Shrine? Oh. Eyes on this probe. On this pylon even. Oracle moves out. Looks like just a spotter pylon, as there is no other probe, right? There's no worker in the vicinity. There's no worker nearby. Oracle goes in, Stalker's in position, and Shameless, he should deflect. Lose one probe. One probe goes down, but Shameless, he holds, he defends. Again, he's scouted ahead of time. He's aware of the Twilight Council follow-up. Both players working towards Blink. Now, at least Gerald does keep the Oracle alive. And I believe we have no second Oracle, just the first. Oracle does threaten the main base. Shameless again is still in position. Ooh, as how many gateways to be thrown down? Do you see what I see? I see 2 gateways already done. I see 2 more gates on the way, and I see a proxy pylon across the map. But Gerald, it looks like he's going for a 2-base all-in. He's going for a 5-gate setup. 5-gate blink store. Yep, there it is. 5th gateway. Oh, you can see it. He gets found. He does get caught out. At Epsay do shade into the mineral line. Probe's going to be going down as Shameless is distracted. We have probes going down in the natural and also in the main. But Shameless, he's paying attention. He does get on top of that start and for that gateway. And the gateway is going to be denied. Yeah, gateway is denied. That is huge. Big moment here for Shameless. That's being zoned away. There's a cancel, and there's a kill. Does get the kill. It did pull back 1 second too soon. Does kill the pylon. Gerald's forced to expand, and likewise, Shameless, his own base is miles ahead. So a really rough moment here for Gerald. Again, he fully intended to go for a 2-base all-in, but with the 2-base all-in failing, bam, he's forced to expand, and it's a far later expansion as the 3rd base is almost done for Shameless. But still, Shameless, he's losing a lot of probes here. 10 probes going down. Gerald, despite the later Nexus, he's catching up. Time to get to stretch. Gerald, he's being active, rotating over on the right hand side. No spotter units, no spotter pylons, nothing here to scout from Shameless. And Shameless getting caught with his pants down. Ooh, nice snipe. Gets the adept. Gets the sentry. There it is. Gerald, he has caught up with it when it comes to the worker count. Caught up. Spots the pylon. Shameless finally achieving some counter damage here. Oh, listen, that pylon does supply block him, and it looks like it is going to be that Dark Shrine. Bold move. Going for DTs. The Dark Templar. Oracle into the natural. Finds more finds more damage. This Oracle has 10 kills already. Shameless, he should still be able to hold his own. Meanwhile, Gerald, does he have any detection here? He does. No robo. Oh, no robo whatsoever, no detection. There are going to be some safety cannons, thankfully, at least some of the bases, but this late DT move here from Shameless can catch Gerald completely. I mean, it will catch him off guard. Again, we have a cannon here at the 3rd base, but no cannon at the natural, no cannons in the main base. Revelation is going to be available, so Gerald, he will have an answer, right? He has the Oracle. He has Revelations, assuming he does not throw down stasis traps. Should be okay. Throwing down stasis traps. Dark Shrine is done. DTs are fanning out. We'll see where they head. As Gerald does have a Revelation available. Does have the Revelation. Gerald so far has a lead. And Shane was actually waiting for Shadow Stride. DTs are ready. We're holding off on them. Getting into Blink. Once again, Shane was out of position, losing 2 pylons. Gerald cuts away. Oh. DC's walling in, there we go. Yeah, DC into natural, DC into the main base. There's that first Revelation. Gets 1. And doesn't quite have the second Revelation. He had the cannon. Yeah, cannon was ready. DT's in too late. He's just all a little bit shameless. Dark Templar, they do no damage. Essentially no damage. And Geralt maintains his lead. Stage trap goes off. Now pushing in, this is mainly a Stalker based composition for Shameless, so the Stalkers they didn't really trade too well against Mass Zealots. Gerald has the more efficient army. Ooh, does deny the warp in. Warp in is denied. Stalkers force back. Shameless does need, sorry, Gerald does need those Zealot reinforcements though. Here they come. Actually getting Stalkers. Stalkers on the way. Ooh, stasis goes off. Yeah, nice catch out of Geralt, catching out 5 Stalkers. And Geralt, you just keep pushing. You just keep on going. And it's time to go for the kill. Go upgrades to even up. Better concave for Shameless. Awkward position there for Geralt. Yeah, an awkward engage. Shameless is holding on. Shameless is holding. Geralt, he believes he cannot kill his opponent. What does he do? Robo. Second Robo. Bay is on the way for disruptors. We're locking in. We're locking in. Geralt rotates. This time Shameless in position. For the most part. There's another pylon. Speaking of. Goes down. As this is occurring, Shameless does get across the map, going for DTs once again. There's a recall. Ooh, will abandon some of those Stalkers though. 3 Stalkers left behind. But Disruptor production has begun. Again, Disruptors are the ideal kind of mid-game setup. They shut down Zealots, Archons, all things StarCraft. StarCraft? All things Protoss, so to say. Once again, Shameless does take a stasis to the face. Disruptor's ready. Can we line up that shot? Can we time it? Oh, the Novas! Not quite. There we go, Nova goes off. Ooh, does connect. Stalker's going down. And there's another Nova in the chamber. And Gerald just bullying back Shameless. Shameless getting desperate, going for Zealot GT counterattacks. More cannons, more shield wires on the way. But he knows he's vulnerable. Gerald knows. As Shameless does cause a big distraction. And do we go for a base trade? Do we commit? Do we recall back home? Shameless does hit the third, or the linear third. And Gerald, he turns around. Uh-oh. Ooh, Gerald, he will turn everything around. That means he does no counter damage. That means that Shameless, he gets a base. He gets a base for free, and he's going to keep on going. Okay, does pull back. Yeah, he pulls back. And this was overall just a better trade for Shameless. He killed the expansion, and Gerald didn't really achieve much at all. So he raced back home. Shameless just buying more time for extra war pins. Shameless getting into his own disruptors. We're getting into disruptor wars. So we get the fringe bases. Top left goes down. At the same time, Shameless pushing right down the center, right down mid. Do we recall? Answer is no. Gets one of the bases. Gets the center expansion. Shelter Nova. Never goes off. Ooh, does connect. Okay. Shameless, I see you. Shameless pulls away. Again, at the same time, top left did go down, so we do trade bases. Top left for center right. Oh, Nova Zoo not connect. 3 Nova swapping off. Disruptors are amassing. And this will come down to the Novas. Just comes down to the unit control, the armor control. Will the Novas connect? Will they not? Can we land a Nova on the disruptors of the opposing player? Likewise, Gerald did go for a very delayed Dark Templar, and do we have any cannons? There are some cannons in position here, but one single cannon can still be surrounded by DTs. There they are. Once again, Shamelessly rotates, Gerald out of position. We're trading bases. Ooh, never connects. A nice connection. Gerald popping up. Up. You know, water rank does go down. Gerald does a recall. The answer is he turns around. Once again, he turns back around. Ooh, massive Nova. Nova goes off. Gerald will lose the mineral line. Now, Shameless was important. He lost the base. That is true, but Shameless, he preserved his probes. Right? He was able to evacuate ahead of time. Gerald trying to come in for an interception. Gerald, he makes a beeline across the map to intercept. Nova's going off. Nice connections. Oh! Likewise, nice counter connection out of Gerald. Shameless still in a better position. But it still comes down to those Novas. Speaking of. Is running away, another base goes down. Nice rotation out of Gerald, okay. Nice rotation at the same time, so they'll run right top left. Ooh, does he get the Nexus? He's moving in. They're being chased by the disruptors. Nice Novas. Gerald, he defends. Main armies almost clashing. The Nova. The Novas go off! Disruptors! Disruptors exposed. The 4 disruptors go down. Massive connections. Yeah, Shameless losing so many disruptors. Again, Shameless not quite aware of what was going on. Not aware of the army location or the rotation. The Nova, ooh, does connect. Shameless taking all the Novas to the face. Takes them all to the face. Shameless is zoning, at least attempting to. God, the disruptors are so clumped. Shameless shoots first. Once again, Shameless does shoot first, takes down 2 disruptors. Nice couple of trades there for our red Protoss. DTs are chasing the Zealot. They're A moving in. Chasing the Zealots away. And A, Shameless, he defends. We have 6 versus 7 disruptors, so the disruptor count is still very even, still very close. Uh-oh. Silver gets caught. So all the disruptors. Now, if we go into a longer game state here, then we should be working towards a Fleet Beacon and towards Tempest. There it is. Fleet Beacon's on the way. So Skytos is going to be the ideal late game for PvP.
I am intrigued.
Is the direction that Gerald is heading in the least. So Gerald thinking further ahead. There he goes off. Better connection for Gerald. Gets 2 disruptors. And Shameless, he's on a timer. He's on a bit of a timer here. Once again, CranKy does rotate. Blinks up the ramp. Blinks on cooldown. Yeah, that was a brutal blink. Gerald takes the nose to the face. Fleet Beacon is done. But only 1 Stargate. So I mentioned before that Shameless was on timer, but Gerald, he alas has no gas. Yeah, he has no. There we go. Now he just noticed. He's like, I need my gases. There we go. He pulls in the gas, so he wasn't in gas here at the 3rd base. Throws down gas just here, and likewise, here come the Stargates. But it's gonna take a while. Oh no! Disruptors are exposed. Getting 1, 2, 3 disruptors go down. Losing every single disruptor, actually. Gerald's a massive miscontrol. He was exposed. The pants were down. Back. Threw away all of his disruptors. And sure, on the one hand, Tempest are on the horizon. On the one hand, we have 3 Stargates. But Shameless, can he end the game here and now before we get into Skytos? Can he send it? It's going to be zoning. Shameless moving in, catching another disruptor. Catching another disruptor goes down, and Gerald, he's zoned away. God, we just have perpetual novas. Oh no! Oh god, Nova connects, grazing the army. Gerald is going for the dive. Oof. Gerald gets punished. We're losing that distance. Still trying to hold on, does at least have the mothership. And as Gerald moves out, Shameless moves in. We've seen time and time again throughout this game, Gerald just being caught out of position, being caught completely out of position, and Shameless has been able to out-trade. That's why Shameless is up in workers, that's why he's had a better economy, that's why he has a larger bank, just because that worker counts. And now he gets some of the robos. Robos are getting depowered. Robo's being depowered, Disruptor goes down. We're trading bases, but alas, Shameless still has that greater army. He's maxed. That's Shameless going into the main base. They'll take down the tech. And this is just going to be difficult here for Gerald to recover in. Gerald just down an army, doesn't really have that many disruptors either. Gerald, he has to avoid the main fight for as long as possible. As we just commit to the base trade. Let's go. Roku gets hunted down, Stargates as well. Again, Gerald, he was taking up, that is true, but Gerald, he had never had the economy, he had never had the gas count. Just switch into Skytoss. Didn't happen. As Gerald, he will take down top left. At the same time as Shameless is also going to clean up. There's one probe remaining for Gerald. Where is it? There it is. There's one probe left. Gerald, he has enough money here for gas guys, just for a pylon. As we're on the one probe. Probe is bottom right. Shameless is re-expanding. Catching the tail end of the army. Poison him. One of it does connect. Nicely done. Nice connection there from Gerald. He's getting caught. Rotates on the right. And Shameless, he should be able to keep up. Oh, Jesus. Poison over. And oh, guys, Shameless does take a massive nose to the face. Shameless, calm down. Shameless is ahead, and Shameless, he has mining, but we still have to respect the Novas. So to calm down. Calm down. Oof. And once again, Gerald just out trading Shameless. To be fair, he needs to. But GG, yeah, GG gets called as again he has no economy behind this, he has no production, and Shameless, he will take a further lead in the series 2-0. GG. Whew, GG, well played, a very intense back and forth here. Again, Gerald, he had some better moments in this game, but he was getting caught out of position one too many times, referring to moments when we saw Shameless rotate towards an expansion, push in, and we saw that Gerald, he was either halfway across the map or just on the other side, and it will take so long to react, so long to respond. He was unable to defend his bases, he was being pulled apart economically, or he was being left behind economically. In the end, GG. GG, well played. Whew, Shameless, he does take a 2-0 lead, and now we're getting ready for our next game. Getting ready. Un momento. as we might need to go on a short break here. So this keeps happening. Every time, Bappy, every time. But typically for the Platinum StarCraft League monthly tournaments, the semifinals are best of fives. I don't think the players were fully aware. I did let them know at the start of the series, by the way. I was like, reminder, best of five, and we just got in. Despite that, we do have results coming in from both semifinals. As you can see here, Krystianer takes down Nick Ratchet 2-1, and Shameless takes down Gerald 2-0 as well. Getting into or revealing best of threes here. Not the biggest of deals, especially if I guess all the players do agree to that as well. Yeah, every time this always happens. God damn it. I mean, best of five semis is more of a unique format, so understandable that players aren't really used to it. I know it's something that they've been pushing a little bit more for the Big Star Cups, for example, with best of five semis. Every time. But for now, we're going to be going on a break. We're going to be going on a break here. And when we come back, we'll have either the remainder of the semifinals or the grand finals themselves. Of one or the other. We'll be back after the break. We'll figure it out. Back soon. Back soon.
welcome back. The scene switch is freaking out. But welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Platinum StarCraft League, the Platinum StarCraft League September edition of 2025. We are now in the grand finals. So again, typically the semis are best of 5s, but this month the semis are going to be best of 3s. Both semis have concluded, of course. In the end, we had Krystianer, our Polish Protoss, to take down Nick Rat in the upper semis, and Gerald got taken down in the lower semifinals. And now we have our grand finals, a best of 5 between our two Protoss players. As spawning in the top right corner of ley lines, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Offside Esports. It is Krystianer. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player. The red Protoss representing Team Little Very. It is Shameless. Here we go. We have made it to the grand finals. If you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get into our best of 5 grand finals. And also, before I get ahead of myself, if you're in the chat, if you're watching, if you want to support the online tournament circuit, if you want to help support this tournament series, you can do so via Matcherino. !Matcherino in the chat. There is a Matcherino page for this tournament, and you can, of course, redeem codes. Codes are available here. Don't have to spend any of your own money, but it is a way to show that there is support, that there is an audience for the event itself, as the event is sponsored by Matcherino, as they do provide those codes for big events like this. So a big shout out to Matcherino, of course. They've been very passionate and very dedicated to StarCraft for many years, helping to partner with many tournaments over the years as well. As we're opening up with a proxy, let's go. Krystianer moves out with what? With a proxy pylon in position for a Stargate, or potentially even a Twilight Council. So again, this pylon is so far out, it should not be a robo, right? It shouldn't be a robo just because the distance between the corner of the map and the base itself. And there it is, Stargate has been thrown down. Again, the rush distance by air is going to be shorter here from the corner of the map, at least compared to the base of Krystianer. So cheeky opener here. Now this is not an all-in. Bear this in mind. This is not an all-in. This is a way to be aggressive. This is a way to be in the face of your opponent. This is a way to move out and deal early economic damage. But again, as a reminder, if you're in the chats, predictions are about to close actually. Get your gamba going while you can. Get your gamba going. Aye. So predict while you can. As we have Shameless going for his own Stargate opener. But again, Shameless is unaware. Shameless, he is going for a delayed probe scout. You can see he's checking for proxies, checking for a robo. He's going for the nearby proxy locations. He's scouting, but he doesn't check the corner of the map. He's not fully aware. So Stargate is done. Oracle's on the way. Is on the way. First one is already out here for Krystianer. Shameless, he has stalkers, and is he in position? He's not in the main base, not yet, but he does race home. He does race back. He zones away, and he deflects. It's a nice movement here from Shameless. At the same time, Krystianer, he scouts the opposing Oracle, does get the revelation. Little quick moves there from Krystianer. Does catch him out. Catch him out. Both players again just going to be expanding. Both players are building up into their Twilight Councils, into Blink Stalkers. So after a bit of a more intense early game, Shameless, he does miss control. He goes too far in. Shameless has to pull out, taking a lot of hits on the Oracle. Likewise, Phoenix follow up at a Shameless, forcing the recall. Oh my god, the Oracle barely recalls back home, just barely. Down to 10 HP. Both players get deflected. And again, we're building up into a more standard early to mid game. From here, we'll keep an eye on the gateway counts, we'll keep an eye on the tech, and we'll keep an eye on the third base timing as well. Again, third gateway for Shameless. A third gateway here, I would say, is just a safe way to open up and a safe way to play. If he throws down a fourth gateway, then we can talk about aggression, and then we can talk about a 2-base all-in. But for now, just 3 gateways out of Shameless. Being safe. As we do see our third base for Krystianer, third base for Shameless. So after an intense start, we're slowing things down. We're building up into a longer game state. We do have a third gateway on the way for Krystianer. We have a fourth gateway on the way for Shameless, but that's a fourth gateway after the Nexus. So just calming down. From here, we should then work towards charge. Work towards Forge, +1, charge, into Archons, into a more mid-game setup. We do have the option available for our players to maybe skip charge, to skip Archons and go Mass Blink Stalker. It doesn't scale too well into a longer game, but it does have a nice power spike early on. So Mass Stalker is an option. We'll see what it's going to be. Now +1 is on the way. There's that charge upgrade from Krystianer, and we should soon be seeing it from Shameless as well. He's got the money for it. Oh. Shameless catching out the Phoenix. Hallucination even. Working in more Stalkers. Shameless, he's moving out, and Shameless, he is choosing not to get charged. Okay, so he's going Mass Stalker. So Mass Blink Stalker out of Shameless. As we mentioned before, there is a power spike available here to Shameless early on, where he can try to break Krystianer with that Stalker lead. Stasis is targeted down. Charge is almost done. Krystianer needs a little bit more time. And Shameless, yeah, he does accept that he cannot break through. This is a rough moment here for Shameless. Now he starts up his own charge. Going for a... There we go. Going for DTs. Going for the Dark Shrine. A win behind. Win behind Dark Shrine. So Shameless going for a risky maneuver. Very risky. See if it pays off. +2 is on the way. I believe there's already a detection. There is one observer for Krystianer. I believe he still has the Oracle as well. Yep, still has the Oracle, still has Revelations. Cannons are not really a factor yet, so no cannons, just the Oracle, just the observer. Dark Shrine is almost done, but Krystianer, he is pushing. Prism is out. Just waiting for those weapons. Takes down the Stasis Trap. Here we go. Cell City rally in. We spoke about this, but Krystianer does have the faster charge. Fades out the Stasis. Nice control. Este Krystianer. Nice control. Stasis goes off. Does catch out 4 Zealots. And Krystianer, he's out trading. Here he's out trading. Just waiting for more charge lots. As they do an amazing job tanking. Shield battery is done. Putting in a lot of work. More Zealots rallying forward. Yeah, Stasis runs out. He commits in. Yeah, he does commit in. Shield battery still trying to maintain this position. Charge now done for Shameless. Shameless, can he hold on? Oof. Can he barely hold on? It's still quite close. With the defense advantage, Shameless, he might just barely have enough. Oh, actually, never mind. Krystianer going for the base. Yeah, going for the expansion. Oh no, there we go. Barely does get it. Krystianer gets the hell out of here. He does pull away, but he does kill the 4. Krystianer takes the lead. Again, Krystianer halfway through the fight, or most of the way through the fight, he did realize that he could not kill Shameless. Opted for the base. Just for the expansion. Stellar Rumba is being set up. Krystianer goes in once again. Does force an early cancel. That was premature. That was a premature cancellation. Shameless, calm down. Shameless getting a little bit frazzled. As DTs are walking past. Where's the observer? Backup observer on the way. Yeah, DTs they hit the bases. We have DTs at the fourth. DTs going into the main. Krystianer getting pulled apart. But killing the pylon. Yeah, just killing a pylon, not killing probes. Krystianer holds. Krystianer, he does hold on, but the downside here, Krystianer, he's down to 57 probes here. He does take a lot of economic damage. And Krystianer, he did decide to do what? No gas. You can see here no gas is at the bases, at the third, at the fourth base, or at the natural as well. So he's very zealot heavy. This is a style that Krystianer is quite fond of. He's basically all in here, as he can't really afford to take up into a Mass Archon or more Stalkers. Ooh, does take a taste to the face. Remember, the longer this goes on, the better it is for Shameless, as Shameless does have the better economy. Can outlast Krystianer. Meanwhile, Krystianer, it's one and done. Like, he has to end the game here. Krystianer committing in. Ooh, another stasis. Another stasis goes off. Observers go down. Which means Shameless can go into Dark Templar. There we go. DTs are warping in. DTs are on the way. Oof. Zel's getting caught out on their own. Despite that, Krystianer, you can see the stasis traps. If it wasn't for the stasis traps, I feel like Krystianer could have broken the space for a second time. The MVP stasis traps, they keep popping up. Krystianer, stop watching Hero. Stop it. As Shameless is holding. Shameless is holding on. I say that the stasis is about to run out. Can Krystianer kill the base for a second time? Oh, is that 3 more volleys? Poquito más. There it is. Takes it down. Kills the fourth. We'll lose the fourth base. Krystianer pulling back. Still on a very low probe count and still undersaturated as well. Oh, yeah, undersaturation at the fourth, undersaturation at the natural. Shameless does have the high ground. Again, Krystianer getting desperate. And again, the MVPs for Shameless. I mean, the stasis traps were very solid, and they keep going. Oh god, the stasis traps. GG gets called, and Shameless takes game number 1. Ooh, GG. A very intense back and forth. Both players had their moments, of course, but Krystianer was all in. Krystianer, he was all in with only 2 gases, no gases at the natural, the third base, or the fourth, so very, very zealot heavy, and in the end, he was unable to break through. He did get the expansion, that is true, he did kill the fourth base, but he was not able to deal any meaningful critical economic damage, any meaningful probe kills. Likewise, got caught up by every single stasis trap. And with that, we're now getting into game 2. Another one of these larger maps. Oh boy. As up next, we're going to be loading into Tokamak. And again, Shameless, he just took down Gerald 2-0. Shameless, he has momentum on his side, and can he go the distance? Coming into this, I do favor Krystianer. Like, Krystianer is favored here, but I was also favoring Gerald, and this is still a PvP, so anything can happen. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the Polish Protoss player, we have the blue Protoss down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. It is Krystianer. And spawning in the right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy, leading the series 1-0. It is Shameless. Here you go. Here we go. And again, last game was quite intense, quite back and forth. If you recall, Shameless initially was going for a more heavy stalker based composition and delaying charge, and then we had Krystianer going for his own just all in with mass zealots without any extra gases. Krystianer, he was gaining ground, he was achieving damage up until a certain point. Then the stasis traps. From here, just waiting for the Cyber Core for our tech of choice. This time, no pylon, no proxy. As a reminder, last game, Krystianer did go proxy Stargate, which did not pay for itself. At least not early on. Shameless, he defended well against the proxy. Two games in a row, two games in a row, Krystianer going for the Stargate. This time does go for a standard Stargate opener and not a proxy. Oh, meanwhile, cheeky moves out of Krystianer. He locks in the probes. As you can see, that's two probes. That's two probes caught in the mineral patch. Cheeky move out of Krystianer as he's denying mining here from two workers this entire time. Very nice. Krystianer. As the pylon is going to be dealt with, buying a lot of time. And Krystianer, he has to commit. I say he has to commit. He has to double down here. He has 4 depths and the Oracle. Shameless does intercept. Depths, they threaten the shade. And they will attempt to shade past the army. They're actually keeping all the stalkers busy. Shameless, if you remember, he didn't scout. Shameless, he did not. Oh, no, sorry, my apologies. He saw the Stargate. Shameless, we're not ready back at home. Wait, what? Okay. Does warp in. Shameless, he commits. He has 2 stalkers. That should be enough to deflect. Shameless is aware of the build. Pushing into a shield battery. Bold move. Or going to the main. Soldiers defend. Shameless trading decently well. Does save his stalkers. And nice control, he pulls away. Saves the stalkers. Kills one adept. And from here the game should continue. Now, as it settles, I do favor Shameless's position. The reasoning for this is because there was a big investment into the Stargate, and the Stargate has yet to do any damage, right? The Oracle has yet to achieve any damage here. We can see that Krystianer, he does not, he does go for the second Oracle. He doesn't make any further from there. Going for a Twilight Council as well, into Blink, into Delayed Blink. Oracle commits, only 1 Stalker, that's not good enough. 3 probes. 3 probes going down. A nice start. Adepts, oh no! They shade in. They shade into the main base. Probes are falling. 3, 4 probe kills. Stalkers, they push in towards the natural as well. They force field the ramp. Going for the pylon. And Krystianer is just being pulled apart. He's being pulled apart here. Shameless, he takes the lead. He extends his lead. Defends against the oracles. And kills 6 probes. Krystianer, he's behind his supply blocks as well. A heavy supply block for Krystianer. He just now starts the pylon. Krystianer cannot warp in. Cannot warp in. We'll get a stalker. Maybe. Just barely gets a stalker. Uh-oh. Yeah, no shield battery. No shield battery in position. We can see Shameless trying to make a stand. Krystianer moving in. Boys are being pulled. Shameless getting punished. Again, he delayed his shield battery for so long. And he's losing stalkers. Oof, nice control. Krystianer does focus on those weakened stalkers. Oracles, they come in to punish. They snipe another stalker. But the shield battery is done. He's got the shield battery. He warps in. And Shameless holds. Shameless, he holds. Ooh, takes down the Oracle. He deflects. And despite the losses, Shameless is still ahead in the workers. He's still up in workers. Still ahead in the economy. Krystianer, he had to deal more damage. And as we get getting into this, a big shout to SC24 in the chat. God, baby God. Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you had a great Jaime sausage. Hope you had a good time. SC24. Gracias, baby. Gracias. As for those that are tuning in, this is the grand finals of the Platinum StarCraft League. Ooh, Shameless diving into the main base, going for the pylon. Pylon's going to be sniped. Cheeky moves here out of Shameless. He's Shameless, baby. Yeah. Takes down the pylon. You can see Krystianer coming from behind, trying to intercept. But there's the recall, and Shameless gets away. Shameless, he does get away. Oh, it's a good time. Let's go. Krystianer again. He needs to find some damage here. Does get the shield battery. Shield battery go down. The blinks are solid, but Shameless does have the equivalent stalker here, and he has defender's advantage. He's warping in. Krystianer being forced further back. Now Krystianer, he's behind, but he doesn't. By no means does he have to go all in here. He is now working towards charge. Has to work towards +1. Shameless has a massive +1 advantage. It's almost done. Now, how can Krystianer come back in this game? Adept Harass, right? Adept Harass, Zealot run by, Zealot drops. There are ways to slip by. You see Krystianer, he distracts. As Krystianer distracts, Adepts, they shade in. Shade into the mineral line. They get 1, 2, 3 probe kills. Just another Zealot. Zealot's in position. A third probe goes down, just barely. It's some damage. It's a very good sign. So we get sniped. Oh, is that a kill? Cancel. Cancel on the 4th base. Krystianer, nice damage. Again, he's finding damage here. Gets a couple of probes. Does force a cancel on the 4th base. Nice moves out of Krystianer. And behind this is catching up, if not taking a lead. Getting his own 4th base. Making more workers. This time he does decide to take gases. This time he's not going for a charge all in. He's actually making immortals and can soon work towards Archons as well. Settling into a longer game. And this is where Shameless, he's going to have a stronger +2 timing. He's already got a couple of Archons. Shameless is building up to it. This tool's almost done. We're waiting for the move outs. Here it comes. Here comes Shameless. And this move out is meant to kill. Shameless is up on Stalkers, equivalent on Zealots, ahead in Archons, and he's got that Prism, and he's got +2. Yeah, +2 now kicks in. Now, what does Krystianer have? Shield batteries. He has shield batteries, he has the defensive advantage, he has the concave. He's also charging in. Archons, they're getting in position. Ooh, one Archon going to get targeted down. It does get away from the Stalkers, and Shameless he overwhelms. Yeah, he just overwhelms his position. He busts on through. Zealous is just gonna melt against the Archons. One Archon goes down, but GG gets called. Shameless he overwhelms, and Shameless he will take a 2-0 lead in the series. GG. Whew, GG, well played again. Shameless just having a cleaner early game, coming out ahead in workers, ahead in economy, and that led into, of course, his greater army and better upgrades as well. So a very strong start. We saw that Krystianer, he was clawing his way back into it. He was trying to recover. True, he was attempting to. We saw that Krystianer, he was able to get some adept harass going. He was able to deny the 4th base. This was nice and all, but it was too little too late. He needed more drastic damage. Didn't quite get it, and with that, we're getting into potentially the final game of the series. We're getting into game 3. One more game is all that Shameless needs to recover, one more game to claim the series. Krystianer, he has to fight back here and now to recover and to have a chance at the ace match. The pressure's on. Pressure is on. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Offside Esports. Down heavily in the series. Can he bounce back? Can he recover? It is a Krystianer. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss himself, representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. Here we go. From here, okay, Krystianer, he has a lot of recovering to do in the series. So far we have seen Stargate openers with mixed success. We saw the proxy in game 1, we saw the just straight up Stargate opener here in game 2. Coming to game 3, we'll see if Krystianer does commit once again into Stargate play. We'll see if he has something more sinister up his sleeve, as he does open up 2 gates, and we're on Pylon. Pylon is a smaller map in the map pool. Aggression is favored on this map. Doesn't have to be a proxy. We could even just commit into a 1 base all-in, 2 base all-ins. Krystianer, where are you taking us? For now, Probe Scout. So later Probe Scouts by Krystianer. Throws down the second Pylon in the main. No proxy, no fake proxy. And Shameless will confirm. Yep, there we go. Does confirm the timing, does confirm the Pylon. As hopefully everything's okay. Do you have a bit of a pause? So a bit of a pause here. Oh, the Uber Eats has arrived, papi. Ah, I am celoso. It's got his food. Is it? I'm assuming hopefully nothing too serious, of course. Hopefully. Before we get into the rest of this series. And again, I'm hoping that we can have a bit of a longer finals as well. I'm hoping we can get a game 4, hoping we can get a game 5, but the pressure is on Krystianer. Ronaldo, papi, Ronaldo. Oh. And he already did well for himself making it this far. We kind of glossed over it. We didn't really get to talk about his accolades, but Krystianer, he beat Percival to make it to the semis. He beat Nicorant in the semis as well. Like Krystianer, he was able to pop off against the Terrans in the group, in the tournament. but here in the PvP, struggling that much more. Shameless has also, of course, been on point. Shameless, he was the rising star of 2024. Shameless, a very young player, growing a lot in 2 years. Over the past 2 years, has grown so much. Still trying to break into the upper echelons of Protoss players. Like, I still do favor players like Krystianer, like Gerald, like Mana over Shameless, but he's quite close. He's quite close to the rest of them up there. And is also one of the more active players, right? Like, Shameless is almost always there in these open cups. Always on that grind. Go 3, 2, the reverse sweep would be huge. I'm hoping for at least like a game 4 or game 5. That's all I want, Pappy, regardless of how this goes. Gibbs, don't let me sleep. As of course, again, this is a monthly tournament. Every single month there is a Platinum StarCraft League tournament, and you know, whether it's on our channel, whether it's on Steadfast or Chicken Man or Rotterdam or one of the other channels out there, again, the event does run on a regular basis and is leading up until the end of the year. We're getting there. There's still going to be an October and November edition of these tournaments. And again, if you want to help support it, you can do so via Matcherino. Matcherino is the place to do so. Likewise, I believe there's also a Ko-Fi for the event as well. Ko-Fi is like Patreon. It's basically like Patreon, a way to fund, a way to support. Is there as well. Oh.
Game resumed.
That's good. Jump me back in. Again, still in the early game, still trying to figure out where we're headed. Oh, okay. As we are going to be opening up with a Stalker Sentry at a Shameless, Stalker Sentry at a Krystianer. As Krystianer does cancel a Stalker for a moment there, he was hoping for an earlier base. Ooh, but there's a pylon block. Yeah, brutal position here. Pylon block. Krystianer does fall behind slightly. Basically, because he canceled the Stalker, the goal was to try to get a Nexus up a little bit faster. He failed to do so. Likewise, because the Stalker is delayed, that means the Pylon is going to last even longer here. Finally, there's a cancellation, and there is the Nexus. So from here, we're building up. So far, more or less mirrored builds. We have our take of choice. So for the first time this series, no Stargate. For the first time this series, no Stargate opener at a Krystianer. Instead, going to be opening up Twilight Council and Ducklings Stalkers. Hallucination will make it past the main army and will scout everything in the main. Shameless knows. He's now fully aware that he does not have to invest into Stalkers defending in the main base. No shield battery. None of that. He can now focus purely on the main army. On the main attack path. Oh, hello. As we open with the Twilight Council and Krystianer, I did notice here he did have a hidden pylon for what? For a Dark Shrine. Cheeky build here, cheeky move out of Krystianer. And now, this has happened before. It's happened to Hero, it's happened to Max Packs. We've seen them both insta tap out. In PvP, the reality is, the game can just end. There are situations like this where you have no robo. There's no reason to get a robo. It is not uncommon to delay your robo until after the third expansion. Speaking of, Shameless is about to expand and get a third base, and still no robo. He scouts. No, he sees it. He does find out what's going on. It's he does force a cancel. Oh no. Oh no. The stars were aligning. There was no robo, now there is a robo on the way, and Krystianer, he has to cancel the Dark Shrine, he has to cancel the gateway. Pylon goes down as well. The initial plans have been thwarted, and Shameless takes a lead. Shameless does take a lead here. He's in a bad position. Behind this, working on the Forge, working on +1. Last game, we did see Shameless have a very strong +1 and +2 timing. It's going to happen again. is going to happen again here, where this upgrade lead allows for some crisp timings here for Shameless, where he can strike, where he can attack when he is at his strongest, and when Krystianer is at his weakest. So that is going to be available. There we go, +1 is on the way. Not being chronoed, as there is no chrono available, but +1 is on the way nonetheless. Krystianer sitting up back at home, still yet to get into his own upgrades. Ooh, as I say, do shade into the mineral line. That's going to be 1, 2, 3 probes going down. It's an okay trade. It's an okay trade for Krystianer. Shameless, he is saturating. I'm still waiting for +1 to begin for Krystianer. The longer this goes on without it, there we go, +1 does begin. As we were getting at though, there's going to be a window in time where Shameless has those upgrades. Likewise, Shameless, he does move out. Unscouted, you can see here Krystianer out of position. He's out of position, fast 4th base, should be cancelled. Yeah, what is it? 3 more volleys. Oh, no mas. There we go. There's a cancellation. Does cancel, and Shameless can he get out? He will lose the sentries. Yeah, sentries are going down. He pulls away at the same time. Double adept as shading into the mineral line. Ooh, not into the 3rd base. Actually going straight for there was potential there. Yeah, Shameless a little bit greedy. He wanted to shade into the natural, but a little bit too greedy there at the Shameless. Damage was not done. And now Krystianer knows. Yeah, now he knows that there are adepts in position. Yeah, that could have been a lot of damage. And there's that +2. We spoke about it. That's going to be the big power spike here for Shameless. There's a chrono. Getting into +2. No safety shield battery. Zelsa getting into the mineral line. No defensive shield battery here for Shameless, so it's going to be a bit of a more awkward and more difficult defense. So invest into extra warp pins. Same time as I say they get in, they get 4 probes. And yeah, it's some okay damage. And oh boy, Shameless is gearing up, he's getting ready. Here comes the prism, here comes the push. Now this is a little bit early, all things considered, considering the +2 is still a ways away. Ooh, Shameless getting supply blocked. 2 more pylons on the way. Krystianer still has potential. The Prism! Yeah, Prism gets sniped. Shameless, he was caught with the spans down, left idle. So the sniping of the War Prism will delay. +2 is done in 10 seconds. But again, Shameless, he's stuck at home. That was on Shameless. So I'll say rotate once again. Shameless, he abandons this position. He's pushing as he moves out. Krystianer moves in. And Krystianer is going for the 4th base. Shameless, does he commit to the base trade? Does recall, actually. Okay, recall's back home. Does recall, awkward defense here. Shameless, he throws away some stalkers. But Shameless, he will win this fight. Nice time. Nice fight from Krystianer, but Krystianer has to get the hell out of here. He's being chased down. He's being chased down. Oh. And this might just be too much. This might just be too much here. As the War Prism has arrived, we need those Zealot reinforcements. Shameless trying to go for the kill. Charge Archon will chase. Stalker's not too far behind. Does focus on the shield batteries. And will blink forward. And here comes the flank. Zealots are coming in. Sheamus has the high ground. Yeah, he has that high ground. He's tanking the Stalkers at the same time. More Warpins, more Zealots, and Sheamus, he's doing it. He's doing it, papi. GG gets called. Sheamus, he overwhelms, and Sheamus, he will claim the series 3-0. GG. Hey, GG, well played. Congratulations, Sheamus. He will claim the series 3-0. And Sheamus, if I'm not mistaken, does he go through this tournament without dropping a single map? Let's double check that. Let's because he 3-0'd Krystianer, he 2-0'd Gerald, and Sheamus, he 2-0'd Art. Sheamus, he got the walkover win over Young Yakov as well. So Sheamus going by without dropping the perfect victory, without dropping a single map here in the tournament. Non-stop PvPs, 2-0's Art, 2-0's Gerald, and 3-0's Krystianer. GG, well played. Este Shameless, papi. Ay. Very well done. A very impressive play here by Sheamus. Again, Krystianer, he did fall behind early. We spoke about it here in game 3, winding it back a little bit. What did Krystianer do? Proxy Dark Shrine, right? He went for the Proxy Dark Shrine because he was going for DTs. That's why his Forge was delayed. That's why a lot of his setup was a lot later here, because he was dedicated, he was committed to the DTs, and it got found. The DTs that got found, they got scouted. In the end, it cancelled, didn't lose those buildings. It was cancelled instead. He got a bit of a refund, but that did delay everything else. And we spoke about it, right? We spoke about that +2. We spoke about how Sheamus was building up towards +2, and it was a factor, right? +2 kicked in. Krystianer, he was doing a great job at buying time. I will say that, like Krystianer, he was buying time with the Zealot run buys, with the counterattacks. Like, he was doing everything he could to keep his opponent back at home, but he could only do so much, especially on Pylon, right? Pylon is a small map. It is one of, if not the smallest map in the map pool. Show rushes and spy ground, you can only buy so much time. You can only delay the push for so long before it gets into your bases, and we saw that Sheamus was able to make use of +2. He was able to make use of it, was able to overwhelm, and was able to shut Krystianer down. GG, well played. So again, strong +2 timing there by Sheamus, and with that, Sheamus, he will walk away as our champion. Congratulations to Sheamus. A shout out to Krystianer, because even though Krystianer went down, he had a good run to make it here. Remember, Krystianer, who did he beat? Nicaract and Percival. 2 big Terran players did go down here to Krystianer. So Krystianer, he did play well for himself. But here in the finals, I will say that Krystianer, he was just a little bit cheeky, a little bit too cheeky. We saw Proxy Stargate in game 1, which did not pay for itself. Game 2, we saw more Stargate play, which also had a hard time really finding damage. Likewise, we saw Krystianer fall behind when it came to the upgrades. He was a little bit more dedicated, and here, similar story as well in game 3. But GG, well played. Congratulations. Este Shameless. Hey, calm down, baby, calm down. Did play well for himself. And with that, if you want to support the tournament, you can do so via Matcherino. I believe we still have codes. I believe we still have some codes left over. !Matcherino in the chat. There is a Matcherino page for this tournament. For the... Oh, sorry, I say for the... My God, have we been linking the wrong one? My apologies. Let's have a look here. Un momento, papi, un momento. But there should be a Matcherino page for the tournaments. We'll see. Yeah, there we go. So to apologize, the wrong event was actually on the command, so I do apologize. But bam, there we go. The actual Matcherino page is now linked in the chat. We do have plenty of codes available here for the event, so I do apologize for linking to a previous Matcherino. But yes, Matcherino page is available here, is live. There are 40 codes available, and there is a link in the Twitch chat, a link in the YouTube chat as well, so you can help support the tournament via Matcherino. So yeah, with that, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. Again, big shout out to Platinum Heroes and Platinum Esports for organizing, for funding the event, and for working and building up towards that end of year finals as well. Again, Matcherino codes are available, so you can support the event for free by claiming a code, by showing and showcasing that there is a community willing to back it, willing to be behind it. A shout out to Matcherino. Matcherino, they are basically they're sponsoring the event by providing those codes. So massive shout out to Matcherino, and again, shout out to Platinum Heroes and Platinum Esports as well. The Platinum Boys, thank you so much. Otherwise, with that, we're going to be wrapping up. Now, when it comes to future events, when it comes to the October and November edition, it might be here on the channel, or it might be over on Steadfast's channel, Chicken Man, Dave Testa, Rotterdam, Wardy. I believe typically they do partner and work with other community casters to bring the event to you live. So again, might be here, might not be. Regardless of where it is, do check it out, do support it, of course. Again, Platinum Heroes, they did make a difficult decision at the start of the year. For those that don't remember, for those that are unaware as to the history of this tournament, originally Platinum Heroes, they had a bigger roster. They supported a lot of players. They were a bigger team, I should say. But coming into this year, coming into 2025, WTL did kind of dissolve, right? Technically on hiatus. WTL is on a hiatus. That's the World Team League, of course, and that is what the Platinum Heroes were focusing a lot on that team league. And without that team league, they did decide to kind of readjust and recenter themselves and refocus on how they wanted to spend their funds. And they took a bit of a step back from their roster. So as a result, the team did shrink. The team shrunk when it came to their pro players. But instead, what did we gain from that? We gained these tournaments. Instead, they were like, okay, you know, we're gonna have a smaller team because there's no team league to play in. But instead, we do want to support the scene nonetheless with tournaments instead, where players can still earn prize money, of course. So that is why we have the monthly tournaments, and why it's leading into that end of year circuit, end of year championship as well. So again, so much love to those working behind the scenes at the Platinum Esports Heroes. Yeah, you know what I mean. And with that, thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in. Our next broadcast should be tomorrow, or later tonight, technically. Let us quickly switch our scenes over and catch up on the schedule. Bam, there we go. So we have our schedule. You can see we just finished our Monday morning cast. You can see here at 1 a.m. KST. It is currently almost 5 a.m. in the morning. Oh boy, it's gonna be brutal tomorrow morning. But yes, we just wrapped up with our morning cast, and as you can see, we're going to be live at 8 p.m. KST. That's going to be at 9 p.m. AEST. That is going to be Wardy TV Monday, followed by Tuna Cup on Tuesday. We have Pigaster Cup Wednesday morning, Little League Cup Wednesday evening. We have the Pondcast, Master Swan Open, and Maestros of the Game on Saturday as well. So we have a very, very intense, very busy week of StarCraft ahead of us here, as always. As always, Papi, as always. So again, thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. We do appreciate it, and we're going to be heading off for the time being. We'll see you guys tomorrow for Wardy TV Monday, or whenever we happen to see you. Now, you might be looking at this schedule, might be thinking, hold on, Sunday is empty, Sunday is free. I believe temporarily, I think we might be moving a cast there to fill it up. We are usually live at least once a day, every single day, but we do have a really busy week ahead of us here. Not just this week, but next week as well. We do have the Starfest qualifiers. True, remember, what is Starfest? That is a tournament happening in Canada. There's a big event happening over in Canada. There's a lot of StarCraft events happening in the Americas. Again, there's an event happening in Canada, there's an event happening in Philadelphia, and of course we have the SSG Safe House as well. So a lot of NA StarCraft is on the horizon, and we might be a part of covering those qualifiers and covering those events. We'll see. So we'll have to reach out, and we'll keep you guys updated. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Also, if you want to support us here, Patreon in the chat. Our Patreon is designed to fund our tournaments on the CranKy Ducklings, so you can help us grow our tournaments or grow our events if you wish. Otherwise, who's live at the moment? Who's live? Who can we send everyone over to? I see Senor Jason. I see Juggernaut Jason is live. I see El Huevito is live as well. Leipzig Esports, they're casting, but I believe they're casting in German, not in English. We do see Big Gabe is live, Rocker is live, Angry is live, Florencio. There's a decent amount of people live at the moment. Jesus, decent amount of people. Railgun. I haven't seen Railgun stream in a long time. Tempted to raid. Defiance, I believe, is streaming the Amateur League. True. Gee, we have a lot of options. With that, we're going to be heading off. And we'll give some love to someone out there. We'll see you soon. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow for the Waters Review Monday. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. Ciao, papi, ciao. See you next time. Hasta luego. Hasta luego. Good night. Buenas noches. Buenas noches.